Dear children, welcome to Economics Classroom. Hope you all are fine. In the previous class, we studied that how population becomes human capital and how is human resource different from other resources. Dear children, let us analyze the two storyboards given in the textbook. The two cases illustrate how people can try to become a more productive resources. First one, the story of Shagal. There were two friends, Vilas and Shagal, living in the same village, Semapur. Shagal was a 12-year-old boy. His mother, Sheila, looked after domestic chores. His father, Bhutta Chowdhury, worked in an agricultural field. Shagal helped his mother in domestic chores. He also looked after his younger brother Jeetu and sister Seetu. His uncle Shyam had passed the matriculation examination but was sitting idle in the house as he had no job. Bhutta and Sheila, his parents, were eager to teach Shagal. They forced him to join the village school, which he soon joined. He started studying and completed his higher secondary examination. His father persuaded him to continue his studies. He took a loan for Shagal to study a vocational course in computers. Shagal was a meritorious and interested in studies from the beginning. He was very interested in studies. With great vigor and enthusiasm, he completed his course. After some time, he got a job in a private firm. He even designed a new kind of software. This software helped him increase the sale of the office. His boss acknowledged his services and rewarded him with a promotion. This is the story of Shagal. Let us read the story of Vilas. Vilas was an 11-year-old boy residing in the same village as Shagal. Vilas' father, Mahesh, was a fisherman. His father passed away when he was only 2 years old. His mother, Geeta, sold fish to earn money to feed the family. She bought fish from the landowner's pond, sold it in the nearby mandi. She sold it in the nearby market. She could earn only rupees 150 a day by selling fish. Vilas became a patient of arthritis. His mother could not afford to take him to the doctor because she is very poor. He could not go to school either. He was not interested in studies. He helped his mother in cooking and also looked after his younger brother Mohan. After some time, his mother fell sick and there was no one to look after her. There was no one in the family to support them. Vilas, too, was forced to sell fish in the same village. He, like his mother, earned only a meager income. Dear children, do you notice any difference between the two friends? What are those? In the two case studies, we saw Shagal went to school and Vilas did not go. Shagal was physically strong and healthy. There was no need for him to visit the doctor frequently. Vilas was a patient of arthritis. He lacked the means to visit the doctor. Shagal acquired a degree in computer programming. Shagal found a job in the private firm, while Vilas continued with the same work as his mother. He earned a meager income like his mother to support a family. Dear students, what is the role of education in human capital formation? Education allows an individual to increase his skills, thereby increasing the quality of his labor. This improves his value in the job market and takes a higher salary. The investment made in education causes a higher earning and greater contribution to the economy of the country. Dear children, educated parents are bound to invest more heavily on the education of their child. This is because they have realized the importance of education, and they are also conscious of proper nutrition and hygiene. And they accordingly look after their children's needs for education at school and good health. Dear students, another example, the countries like Japan have invested in human resources. They did not have any natural resources. They are developed and rich countries. They import natural resources needed in their country. How did they become developed or rich? They have invested on people in the field of education and health. They have made efficient use of other resources. Next topic, economic activities by men and women. What are the economic activities done by men and women? Various activities have been classified into three main sectors, that is primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sector. Primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sector. Primary sector includes agriculture, forestry, fishing, mining, quarrying, etc. These all are related to the natural resources. These all are inbuilt in the nature. Next one, secondary sector. Secondary sector includes the manufacturing of goods. It is related to the industry. Next one, tertiary sector. Tertiary sector includes trade, commerce, communication, banking, services, etc. Tertiary sector includes trade, transport, communication, banking, insurance, services, etc. The activities in this sector result in the formation of goods and services. These activities add to the national income. These activities are called economic activities. So the activities have been classified into three: primary, secondary and tertiary sectors. Next one, economic activities have two parts: market activities and non-market activities. Market activities. This type of activities involved remuneration to anyone who performs, that is, activity performed for pay or profit. These include protection of goods or services, including government services. Dear children, whatever the economic activities which is performed for getting money, for getting salary, for getting profit, that economic activity is market activity. If the government is providing services, for example, water supply, drainage, construction of dam, all are managed by the government, that will be included in the market activity. A farmer producing rice and selling the vegetable market, that also belongs to market activity. In short, whatever the work we are doing for the motive of earning money belongs to market activity. Okay. Second one, non-market activities. Non-market activities are the production for self-consumption. These can be consumption and processing of primary products and on-account production of fixed asset. For example, if I am using my land for the cultivation of vegetables for my use. That is belongs to non-market activities. Okay. Land is a fixed asset for the cultivation of the crops or vegetables. When I use my land, that belongs to non-market activities. Dear students, I would like to wind up this session. I hope you understood this topic very well. URL related to this topic is attached. Watch the URL. Notes and test questions are also attached. Attend the test paper. We can meet in the next session. Bye.